Okay, guys, welcome to another and exclusive interview on IKtv. Today, I am here speaking with Jeon Adams, and let her speak a bit about herself. All right, Jeon, hello.
Hello,
All right. How are you today?
I'm fine.
Okay, so I want you to tell the audience who you are and what you do. Give us a little background about yourself.
Okay. My name is Jeon Adams. I'm 28 years old from Bel Air. I'm the oldest of four. I attended the Bel Air Government School, then went on to the Bishop's College, Kingstown. And then I went to the St. Vincent Community College and finally the University of West Indies, Mona campus. I'm a librarian by profession and I enjoy a number of stuff in the arts. Dancing, singing, fashion, yes, and
Okay, and speaking about fashion, you are a designer, right?
yes.
Okay, what do you design? Clothing, jewelries, the entire thing?
I have an accessory line, just Jeon, taking ordinary items and creating art.
Okay, when did you get started in this designing phase of your life?
I started actually in 2012, January the 29th. I was in my final semester at Mona campus, and I saw a DIY video of making a necklace, and I was like, okay, let me try and see if I could make it. And then, as I was putting the necklace over my head, it's fitting nice as a headband. So I said, okay, let me rock it as a headband. So I made it and wore it the next day to the mall. And persons was like, oh, I like that headband. I like that. You should make it and sell it. And from there, it just blew up.
Okay, so is Just Jeon a registered business in St. Vincent?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and how long have Just Jeon itself? I know you said you started in 2012, right? So how long have Just Jeon been registered?
It was registered January the 29th, 2013.
She
Once.
she got it locked down completely. So you know when a business is going to be successful when you know when you begin, because you don't know where you're gonna end if you don't know where you begin. Okay, so Jeon, what has been your inspiration besides the DIY that you saw? What has been your inspiration so far, and what are some of the other jewelries that you make?
Okay. My inspiration is anything that I see around me. It could be nature, it could be persons playing, or anything could spark my creativity. It doesn't really, it's not a pinpoint thing.
Did you make your earrings yourself?
Yes, I did. Most of my accessories are from items that could be found in and around your home, or in a craft store or a hardware store. It all depends.
Just spin your head so that the audience can see these properly. Guys, are you seeing this? This is homemade, right?
Yes, so
Okay, so everything is made from everyday materials around the house.
yes, it is.
So we can just follow you around and make a complete DIY of everything you do in like a documentary. Okay. Talent in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is something that is big. Something that, like, we have singers, dancers, which you say you do, you sing, you dance, you act, you do your jewelries. What is your opinion on young talented persons in St. Vincent? Because there are a lot of talented persons and they sit down at home saying, oh, there's nothing for me to do in St. Vincent. What would you advise them?
I would advise persons to just take a small step and you never know where you could reach, because it's I for me, I was like, oh, okay. I didn't really think of where I could go, and here I am today. So you just have to believe in yourself, have faith, and pray and go with God.
Okay, and what have been the highest points so far of this? Is it a hobby or is it a career?
It's, I don't like to put it in a category, but it could be both. You know, it could be both because I love my job. I love being a librarian, but I also love accessories and designing and modeling and stuff like that. So it's like,
You model also?
yes, I model. I have a blog also, a natural hair blog, memoirs of a naturalista, and we're also well, a group of us, some girls, a couple of girls and us, and myself, sorry, we are starting a natural hair support group. So you should look out for that. Should be coming soon. We have an event on June the 14th, so look out for more info on that.
Okay, I also see you have a ring on your finger. Can you guys just hold your hand out for someone second? Can you guys see this? This was also homemade?
Yes, I do midi rings, knuckle rings from wire, and bracelets and necklaces, the works.
Okay, this ring is rather interesting. What was the process going about making this?
Well, the process of making this is you take wire and you put it around something that a shape of your finger, anything that's the shape of your finger. I used a Sharpie, and you just twist it to your liking, and yes, you make different creations.
Okay, so do you have special tools that you use in making these, or do you just use anything around the house also?
Well, I use anything around the house to make them. Doesn't matter.
Okay, and the necklace, I see it's a matching design. What exactly is it made from?
It's made from rope and embroidery thread.
For the people like me who have absolutely no idea what that is, I'm gonna have Jeon of Just Jeon tell me what is embroidery thread.
Embroidery thread. You use it to do stitching, like those in the clothing and textile, they will know what is embroidery thread. Just go into any store and ask, and you should be able to find it.
Okay, is there anything else that you do with your jewelry? I don't think your viewers can see any, but there's one in this side of her hair right there. This is something else that you made, right? Okay, this looks similar to the ring. Is it like a kind of what do you call it? Balancing?
You could say that. You could it's the same technique, but yes, it's for the hair. So you have those for your hair as well. So you could order and get your pieces.
Okay, and just Jeon, do you employ people in St. Vincent?
Well, currently I do not employ anyone at the moment, but as I expand, I will do so.
Are you looking forward to doing that?
Yes, I am.
How soon?
I'm not sure how soon. I'm not sure how soon.
Okay, but we can expect employment from Just Jeon coming soon. Jeon, I want to get a little bit personal. I want to know what drives Jeon.
What drives me? I would say the first thing is faith in God, believing in Him, because it started out with Him. One time I was home and he just said, I'm going to get funds. So I thought, okay, I'm going to get some finances, some scholarship or something. But I think it was a couple weeks later, I saw the DIY, and from there it just grew. So I realized that was what he was talking about.
Okay, so it's completely faith-driven.
Yes. Driven.
Okay, so while you were away studying, was there any other thing that grabbed your attention more than this jewelry making?
Well, I was studying for a total of 3 years. So for 2.5 years, it was different activities, as in student activities. I was involved in VINSA. I was the treasurer, and then I moved on to the vice president. And yes, and I was also actively involved in my hall, Mary Seacole Hall. Black and white is always right. So I was hall photographer. I publication secretary. I was involved in making magazines and stuff like that, and doing different publications. So I was very, very busy.
Okay, so all this was in Mona campus in Jamaica, UE?
Mona campus in Jamaica.
You see, I did my research, eh? Okay, so Jeon, have you been featured in any fashion shows?
Yes, I have been featured in a number of fashion shows. Top of my head, I could think of about 2 or 3. and I have a fashion show on the weekend, Saturday, May the 24th. Yes, the Royal Black and White event at SOV.
Okay, and there's an admission cost to this.
Yes, $30.
We're not doing promotions for free, yes. So, what you've been featured in a magazine last year, I believe it was.
Searchlight magazine.
Okay, and what was the result of that? How would you rate that in terms of success?
That was pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome to be featured as a young person. Well, to let you guys know, well, in Bishop's College, I was very shy and reserved. I was the quietest one in the class, you know, always studying my books and everything, doing what's right. And to see I'm now into fashion and blogging, and it's amazing.
Okay, we coming up on next week Saturday, not this Saturday, the following Saturday, May 31st is Miss SVG. What is your opinion on that as a designer? I'm throwing you on the spot.
My opinion, I don't have a problem with it as a designer, but I believe that the girls should feature local artists when they have public events. They should showcase more of their local designers.
Okay, so let's suppose that the Miss SVG 2014 comes to you and says she wants you to design something to go with, say, her evening wear. How would you go about dealing with that?
I will coordinate with the designer of her gown and collaborate and ask her what is her ideas, what does she want to portray, and make it happen for her.
Okay. And do you have like a specific time frame? Because, okay, let's say she comes to you, the show is on the Saturday, she comes to you on the Friday. She wants, I'm putting you on the spot, she wants earring, necklace, and rings. How would you go about that?
I'll make it happen. You do what you have to do. Some persons will come last minute. There was one person who had a show the night, and like in 2 hours I had to make a clutch. So I did that for her.
So you,
Impressed.
so you can make a guarantee that you are giving good customer service,
Yes, I am giving.
and your customers are going to be satisfied.
Yes, they will be satisfied.
Okay, so if I want a special made ring, I ain't gonna say no much because y'all ain't gonna know what I up to. But let's say I want a special made ring and I want to bet a jewelry, say a diamond or something in it. Do you go that far?
A diamond, would you be providing the diamond? If you're providing the diamond, then fine.
Okay, I'm gonna go a bit ahead of time. Where do you see Just Jeon in 5 years?
Just Jeon, in 5 years, I see myself not just being known locally, but also continually being known regionally and internationally.
Have you targeted a market so far on the regional level?
On the regional level, I have a couple of customers, but I still want to branch out and reach as far as possible.
And what about the local market? What has the reception been so far of your jewelries?
The reception has been very, very good. I just want to thank all the persons who have supported me for the past 2 years, and I wish for your continued support in the years to come.
Okay. Going back in time, so we jump in time now. We're like time travelers right now. Last year, I believe it was in the summer. Vipo SVG. What was the success like of that? What was that like for you? First off, what was it like exposing all your different stuff and having people, a lot of people coming by to see it? Which this was, by the way, during coming up close to Miss SVG time. Also, you seem to have a little connection with Miss SVG.
Yes, the reception was excellent. It was kind of nerve-wracking as well, being in the public eye, but you know, it was great, a great experience. Got to meet other people and network and up to this day, continue to form links with other persons in the industry. So,
Okay, what sort of criticisms have you received? Good, bad? Extreme are the good? How extreme are the bad?
um, not much bad criticism, but with every criticism, I try to improve on my product.
Okay, I'm gonna take it outside of your arena now. You don't design clothes, do you?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment.
Rule it out.
Okay, so we're gonna be expecting clothes that are not only gonna say just Jeon because you own just Jeon, but because Jeon designed them.
Yes, yes.
How did you come about the name Just Jeon?
Well, actually, I was trying to think of some names back in Jamaica, and I asked one of my colleagues, a friend of mine from Trinidad, hi Rhonda, and she gave me the name. So I said okay. Yeah, she said you need a name that way persons would remember, and it's unique. And my name is very unique. I'm the only person that has that name to my knowing. So I was like, okay, just Jeon. I could deal with that.
So you went and you asked, what should I name my line? And she was like, why not just say Just Jeon?
Yes, basically, like
So it was exactly like that.
she didn't have to think much. She just off the tip of her tongue.
Okay. And if you came to me and I had said something like Safaneya,
I would ask, what does that mean?
what if I said just made it up on the spot?
I would ask, what does that mean, and pray about it. But I didn't really have to pray much about just Jeon.
Okay. So in jewelry making, do you have to consider what are some of the things that you have to consider when you're making jewelry for a specific person?
You have to consider if the person has any allergies, allergic reactions. You also have to consider, well, depends on what they need. If it's a ring, you check the size of their hand, their fingers, and you ask them the length that they want, and you double check if it's a necklace, what colors. As also for a clutch, the size they would like. Some persons like the small clutches or the larger ones. So it depends on the person's taste.
Okay. So for the person who doesn't know much about jewelry, not saying that I don't. Yeah. What is a clutch?
A clutch is a little purse, you could say, that persons that you normally see young ladies place under their arm or inside their hands when they're going to dinner or a date or something like that.
So you do all accessories.
Yes, handbags, clutches, earrings, necklaces, rings, t-shirts, veils. Yes, a lot of stuff.
Okay. Jeon, I'm gonna bring this down now to another level. How has religion influenced your taste in fashion?
Religion has influenced it a great deal. That's the most important thing to me. Um, well, I love fashion, and I love God, so it's kind of a nice coming together. So fashion and faith, that's me. Fashion and faith. So I Christians have to look good too. So I rock it. Rock my hair, my natural hair, and my outfits. Make sure they're decent, and yes.
Okay. Now, the reason I asked that is because I know that there's some people who have a certain view on fashion and jewelry, and it's like, okay, you're not supposed to wear this or something. What would you say to persons who are lacking some fashion, if I dare say that? Please, nobody eat me. Don't eat me. Yes. What would you say to somebody who isn't into fashion? A female.
A female. A female. I would say, well, it depends on you, but you could also do a little bit and see if you like it. Like, if you don't wear makeup, you could try a little gloss or a little lipstick. Do not go extreme, just a little bit. You could always ask me for advice. You could come to me and ask me for advice.
That was going to be my next question.
Yes, you could ask me for advice on Facebook or on my blog. You know, I deal with fashion as well. So, yeah.
Okay, what's your name on Facebook?
On Facebook, look for just Jeon or Jeon Adams. Jeon Adams.
Okay, Jeon, it was a pleasure having you in the studio. Would you like to say anything else before we go?
Yes, I'd just like to thank everyone for their support again. Thank you for the opportunity that you have given me, and look out for great things for Just Jeon and also for Beautiful Crown, that is the natural hair support group. So be on the lookout for that.
Okay, as I said, Jeon, it was a pleasure having you in studio. I'm going to, when we get off air, I'm going to start getting some advice and stuff. So unlike you guys, I don't have to go on Facebook and the blog. I'm just going to talk to her in person. But Jeon, it was a pleasure having you, and we'll be looking forward in the next 5 years to see where Just Jeon is, regional and international, as you said. All right, guys, you've just seen another episode of An Exclusive on IKtv. We've definitely been having an exclusive because this is information I never knew before about jewelry. And stay tuned. You can follow me on Twitter at Jeronnie_Xylon. Thank you, guys.